Hello, my name is Dennis Massengill, and I interviewed Michelle Cox, the financial officer of North Lawrence Community Schools. I wanted to get a firm grasp on the concept of setting a budget for a corporation, therefore I decided to go to the person who is in charge. I know that there are far more in-depth issues that need examined here, but I wanted to achieve a level of understanding at this time proportionate to my job as a principal in a building. When I decide to achieve the level of superintendent, I will need to know far more reaching items about the budget setting process. The first question I asked Michelle was, how do you go about projecting enrollment for the budget? And she said the superintendent and the principals work closely on projecting the enrollment numbers each year. She said unless there's a significant change, increase or decrease, we are opting to use the February ME count for the budget for the upcoming year. I asked her when those projections are due to the state. And she said in 2015 we had to inform the state what number we'll be using in May. This was earlier in last year. Last year was the first year we had to report an actual number. In the past, the state automatically used the prior year's enrollment. I then asked her, when do you know if the projections are going to be accurate? And she said, with the September ME. I asked her, how do you make the decisions for adjustments based on actual enrollment which lead to projection shortfalls? And she said, unfortunately, it's very hard because we're already committed to contracts and to staff. This means that we have to tighten our budget on other items such as supplies and extra items like aides or hours for our employees. I asked her what the anticipated expenses were for the budget, and she said wages, benefits, utilities, supplies, and fuels, and other items for the buildings. I said, what are some expenses that are not reflected in the school budget? And she said, unexpected building repairs are pretty high, unexpected high enrollment numbers, which require us to hire new teachers and staff, and changes to building code that require changes to our buildings. I then followed up with, when does the state give the school a projected budget? For the general fund, she said, this year we received it in June as an estimate. We will then get the certified number after the September ME count, which comes in October or November. This means the estimated amount we started with in July will be adjusted up or down based on September enrollment numbers in February. Then we'll receive an adjusted up or down again after the April-May after the February ME count. The next question I asked her was, when does the state give the actual school budget? And she says the DLGF will review and approve our budget in order of receipt after it is advertised. The hearing is conducted after the school board adopts our budget locally, sometime in September, and it could be as early as October, but no later than February 15th when the DLGF will actually approve. The last question I asked was, what are the consequences if the district, the budget is lowered during the school year? And she simply said, we'll go into deficit financing, which will be forced to cut staffing and services to all of our students. Thank you.